Let us do that indeed. Tal'Dorei and Malta right now will be the second matchup for this epic best-of-5 series after we see a fairly unconventional strategy from both players about the 50-minute mark. 12 Queens, Broodlords, no Corruptors, suddenly transition into +3 carriers.
I actually can't believe how back and forth that game was, how far in supply they went down and then back up to after. Incredible.
That was pretty ridiculous, and I can't imagine DIMAGA's going to want to get involved in that, but here we go. DIMAGA in the red drugs right here to the southwest. He is playing Zerg on the Tal'Dorei and Malta versus his opponent, the one and only Mana from Team Mouse Sports. He is in the green trunks, and he is playing Protoss to the southeast.
Indeed, he is, and I'm sure we'll be seeing a macro-based game, seeing like builds such as 15 hatchery, followed by 16, 17 spawning pool. Equally, this map is Tal'Dorei and Malta, the Protoss map, which is pretty much guaranteed to see what we do see. With the pylon at the front into, and actually I was going to say into like a Forge expand, but once you scout early with the probe, it's, unless you see super early aggression by a spawning pool, you will go Nexus first.
Of course, yeah. It gets the Nexus out faster, it gets you much more money in the bank, which is of course absolutely ideal when you're going against DIMAGA. I can't imagine that either of these players really wants to play another game like that. That is exhausting.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure DIMAGA will change his endgame plan up just a little bit, I think.
Oh, but it was so fun.
It was so fun, dude, but there's 4,000 euros on the line. I think he has to change a little bit there.
Yeah, I'm thinking transitioning into something that isn't that might be a plan. I mean, to be fair, DIMAGA had a good setup. The problem is he didn't spot the carriers. And to be fair, who really expects the carriers?
I mean, yeah, he had overload speed. The only thing he didn't do was just spend. I know, DIMAGA, I know you're telling me in my head that gas is very useful to you and you need to put it into Broodlords, but you need to spend that 100 on an Overseer to actually go in and find out what is going on behind the scenes.
Yep, carriers did come completely by surprise. No Corruptors on the field to deal with that. That long 50-minute game was, of course, very taxing on both players. I still believe neither of them wants to repeat that. DIMAGA with the spawning pool down right here. Of course, he cannot expand yet because Mana will block off this natural with the probe. In the meantime, there's the expansion, followed by the Forge for Mana.
Yeah, I mean, he scouted early. He saw there was no super early aggression. He has plenty of time to go Nexus first, followed by Forge. Will start to wall it with another gateway. If he feels threatened, he can wall off with another gateway. And then even more, just complete it off with a pylon if he does. But he will be going for a gateway, followed by a cannon here.
Oh yes, and that should be fairly solid defense. DIMAGA not really known for his early game aggression. Got to try and clean this area out, which he'll be able to do. Pylon going down, and DIMAGA being denied just for a little bit longer. And of course, Mana can cancel that. A very small investment when your sole aim is to annoy DIMAGA.
I know, and he got that one for sure. The hatchery does go down needlessly, and the 4 links are on the way across now. The cannon has begun. The Overlord is going to get into a great position that cannot be picked off at any time. And now the kind of the mid game already starts. Even though it's early game still, we're at 4 minutes, the mid game has already started because both players have put all their money into 0 aggression. And now actually this is completely walled off with that additional gateway. DIMAGA was just checking there, but as I was saying, they are going to have to look for their mid game plan. What is DIMAGA going to do? How is he going to take a third base? Is he going to take a third base? Will he look for some form of mid-game aggression, or will he look to defend against mid-game aggression from the likes of Mana? Mana can also throw down a Stargate, can throw down additional gateways. There's lots and lots of builds in for choose.
Well, judging by the last game, I think DIMAGA's answer to this will be 40 Ultralisks. We'll see if that actually happens. Whatever the case, DIMAGA has now taken his natural expansion, and he is feeling nice and confident about that. The worker count for both is equal for the time being. Slight lead coming out for Mana right here, but once this hatchery pops and the lava is injected, I expect a big droning up right here from DIMAGA. Since Mana is not showing any signs of aggression yet, once this cybernetic score goes up, we're going to get a better idea of what he plans to do.
And a Zealot is going to get almost 1 kill, just pokes down to push away the Zerglings, and now we are going to see DIMAGA take a very fast third base. The drone is there waiting to take it. There it goes and does exactly that. And look at this overlord placement, is absolutely fantastic. And you click at Mana's vision, he can't stop that. And look at that, the overlord doesn't quite see the Stargate.
Nice positioning right there for Mana. Perhaps he suspects there's a sneaky overlord in there. DIMAGA could potentially poke in and actually see it. It might be worthwhile, and of course, that's what you often do when you happen to have an overlord in that position. And Zerg spread out to the third. Very very vulnerable to Phoenix and, of course, Void Ray harassment early on in the game. Queens take a little while to limp around that, and that's going to be a bit problematic. We'll see what Mana decides to do. I would expect to see a Phoenix and Void Ray mix, which is very often employed on this map.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely going to open up with a Void Ray immediately and try to pressure the inevitable third base, as we can see now.